Hello, Spinner94 here, bringing you to battle against Melvin. This is a 6v6 battle, and he's rocking a full Gen 1 team, so that's really interesting to see. I say, well, we're having a lot of these kind of battles. It was the 20th anniversary of Pokémon when I was doing my last stream, so that was pretty good, as I say there. So anyway, he's going to lead off his Blastoise, and I'm going to lead off with my Swallow here. So basically, I'm going to protect the first turn. I want the Guts boost as much as possible. I want the Flame Orb to activate. And as I see, he goes for Blizzard here, so I'm like, okay, he does have something that counteracts me, and Swallow's obviously not going to be able to take a Blizzard very well, so I do decide to U-turn out of there. And that does a decent chunk of damage, considering later on I find out this is actually one of those defensive Blastoise sets. It'll be like max defense or something like that. And saying Rapid Spin, maybe not the best move to use there, but that definitely confirms it's the defensive set. So he goes into his Arcanine here, and I'm just going to Toxic whatever wants to come in. Nothing on his team particularly likes poison, but to be fair, nothing particularly is bugged by it. But I do manage to get a poison on this because I find out this is one of those weird defensive sets, like Will-O-Wisp, E-Speed for priority and stuff like that. So with this Arcanine got the Toxic on, I do decide to switch into Whitebeard because it's going to be able to take any attack like that. And he goes for Thief, which is an interesting move, and it steals my leftovers. I must admit, I never thought Thief on an Arcanine would be coming so useful, but it's just coming useful there. Nicking my leftovers kind of cripples Whitebeard here. So he just decided to withdraw as I go for a Scald, just to make sure he'd stick if he'd want to stay in or something like that. But he does go into the Venusaur here, so I go for a Scald. I'm praying for the burn. Nope, I do not hit this burn, so this bloody golden green ass dinosaur thing's going to really start bugging me today. So I go into Goo, who is like the perfect counter for Venusaur. You go for Leech Seed. Nope, Sap Sipper. I kind of want to run a physical one to get the most use out of Sap Sipper, but honestly the special move pool of Goodra is just way too much to resist. So I did expect him to switch there, so I go for a Sludge Wave, but he doesn't, and I do get hit by an EQ. But to make up for that this turn, I'm going to go for a Flamethrower and completely demolish this thing. And Goodra's still looking pretty healthy. Don't have any recovery for Goodra on this team, which is a shame. That's a real weakness of this team, I've noticed. It does not have a lot of recovery on it. So I go into the Blastoise here, and I know it's got Blizzard, so I want to switch out. I didn't think a T-Bolt would kill it at this range, but it does go for Hydro Pumps. I could have got away with it, so good predict on the switch there into my big girl's BFF. So I've decided to either go for a Toxic again, just to try and Toxic whatever wants to come on, but no, I go for a Dragon Tail, predicting a switch into something. Yet again, I need Stealth Rocks on this team. Didn't build this team very well, I must admit, but it was kind of just a random battle, and I just chucked a load of random mons together, so it's to be expected. So me not knowing this is a defensive set at this point, I am kind of fearing this thing, so I just decide, you know what, close combat to the face is not going to be too nice from this thing, so I do decide to switch, and I go into Whitebeard here, who is then going to take a Flamethrower to the face, but I get burnt, which is really annoying. This set doesn't like Toxic on it, doesn't like burn or anything like that. Defensive Stoice, I can definitely see why it got moved to RU instead of UU, so after I take some burn damage here, this is not looking great for me. I believe I just decided to go for a Scald or a Toxic here just to start getting some damage on whatever wants to switch in. So the Pikachu incoming here is I go for a Scald, and that does a good chunk of damage to that Pikachu. It would be nice with the burn. Just realised a lot of his team are nice and shiny as well, so that's pretty cool. So anyway, I go to Goodra here. I wasn't quite sure what this thing would do, but I want to resist those electric moves. So Thunder incoming here, and look at this. How little damage it does. It does about 9 damage, my god. So I obviously know he's going to switch out here, but I didn't want to go for a T-Bolt just in case. So I decided to go for the Flamethrower here, which does a nice chunk of damage to this Pidgeotto here. And this thing goes for Hyper Beam, so I believe this thing is meant to be a Mega Evolving set, but we did agree with the rules of, you know, no Mega Evolving, no Legendary, since I believe this person didn't know what Small Gun battles were. So I do manage to get rid of that thing after taking a Hyper Beam, which is really annoying. So the Blastoise is incoming here, and a Blizzard is going to hurt Goodra, but not too much, thankfully, and I take one of them really well, so I go for a Thunderbolt here. And I still don't kill, which is annoying. So he goes for Blizzard again, and of course, what happens here? I live with 10 HP, and I get frozen. That is unbelievably annoying. So unfortunately Hyper Pump is going to hit here, and Goo is unfortunately going to go down. If it wasn't for that bloody frozen, I would have got a nice Thunderbolt off there to finish this thing off, but it's just bloody typical at this rate. So I go into Swallow here. Swallow is pretty much going to start doing a lot of decent work from here, as I'm going to be able to outspeed everything and go straight for a Facade here. And that's going to do a nice chunk of this Charizard here. Even if it wanted to Mega Evolve here, that chunk of damage from Facade is going to just start wrecking face. Swallow is an absolute beast of a Pokemon. Thank you, Greninja, for giving me this thing. I've had some fun matches with this. So he goes into Pikachu. I don't think this person knew the speed of Swallow, one of the fastest in the game. Not a lot of people do. People just assume it's moderate speed, but nope, this thing is fast as hell. I believe it's faster than a Greninja or something daft. It's like 125 base speed or something ridiculous. So I do get intimidated there, which is a shame because Facad's not going to hit as hard as I want, and I know I'm not going to kill this thing with it. So I did decide to U-turn. It got a very minuscule amount of damage here, and I'm just going to go into White Bait here just to sacrifice it. And I do get Willowed, but of course I'm already burned. So decent play act. I would like to say I predicted the Will-O-Wisp, but I really didn't at this point. So at the minute, White Bait is just going to go in to be a sacrifice, as I'm probably going to take some kind of move here. I do get E-speeded. I keep expecting close combat from this thing, but seeing the all those movesets kind of confirmed it was the more defensive set instead of the attacking one. So I managed to get rid of this with Scald. Thank God for that. That thing is all out the way. Obviously, dead Arcanine is better than an alive one on that was spawned inside the field. So part of me goes for a Skull Dash here to try and increase his defenses. I don't know whether they predicted they'll live the Scald or not, but if they did predict and live in that Scald, that's a damn good predict because he'll also lived on like 3 HP or something there. And now I go down to burn, but that is unfortunately not going to help you too much, even with the defense increase on that low of health. Because, well, I'm just going to E-speed and clinch this game for good. So thank you all for watching against another full Gen 1 team. It's a pretty good match. And of course, this is Spinner94 as ever, signing out.